Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Andrews and Eastern. And what a change this is from when we started. This, of course, is our streamlined passenger train, the Nantahala Gorge. Getting ready to leave the depot for its 13:20 departure. And because it's not going to be quite strong enough, we are adding the helper. So let's make sure this is all set up properly, including pulling out the invisible coupler. So we're just going to have you go all the way to Topton. And actually, I probably will have you go all the way to Nanta. But no, you need to be... Yeah. It probably has everyone already, but at the same time, we now have our other engine, our other train ready. This guy's been waiting here for a while. But it is also set up and ready to go, so let's have 71 start making its way up the mountain. Now, this should be the last train that 71 needs to deal with. So I think we'll just have it take the train all the way into Andrews, but we'll have the meet here. And yeah, so we do have the Decapod as helper because that was what was convenient. And then once the passenger train leaves, we'll get these signal cars back into position. Because for whatever reason, they're supposed to be unloaded here on the main track. I don't know why. It feels kind of stupid. You should go. There you go. Mostly on time. Pretty full, though. And again, once it reaches Nantahala, we need to make sure that we cut off the lead engine. So once again, I do intend this to be the last stream on the Andrews and Eastern. We've completed all our goals, but I did want to finish out the day just because. We do have another interchange, and we got cars we got to sort out for that too. I think the first thing we need to do, though, is get all these cars on the same track. So let's start with that. Which engine are we sending that way? We're sending 55. So just come out to there for now. 40 will be the local switcher. Whatever happened to 46? Or did... We should have one more engine, shouldn't we? Am I going crazy? It's possible. I was crazy once. Oh, there's 46. Right. Ignore that I said anything. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to do both of the last two passenger runs or just the first, or if we'll do part of the second. That will be determined as we go. Obviously, we're not going to pull anything out of here for a bit, and I don't think we're going to do the afternoon pulpwood run. At least not yet. I do wonder how that car didn't get moved over. Let's have 46 maybe go tackle that real quick. Because that's going to be a little annoying for 55 to deal with. Alright, now that you're out, we'll take you all the way back to the yard and start dealing with this. So we have cars for Bryson, Whittier, and Nanta. And that car was supposed to go out this morning and didn't. Oops. And once we get 55's train ready, we can head over to Whittier and start working on that stuff. Because we do have some cars to go out to. Now, that one's going to Whittier, so we don't worry about it. Yes, Celestial. Rain. Oh, and we'll grab 401 once all the outbound stuff gets to Bryson. It's going to be a light train coming back. We might run up and just grab these cars because we can. Maybe not. We'll just leave those for tomorrow's train. Truin doesn't quite sound right. But I appreciate the enthusiasm. Cut all these over and get them on the right side. They're almost all going... Well, actually, these two aren't going to the same spot as everything else. In fact, let's make sure that the... Oh, that's right. I oiled these up in between, so... Oil-wise, we are doing fine. And I don't see any real need to send stuff for Scrapalachia, so it'll just slow the train down. And again, it's in theory the last stream we're doing, so we might come back to this stream or this save in the future if there's like super special stuff on this end of the railroad to look at in a future update. But at the moment, I'm not planning on doing so. And there's nothing really good to scrap anyway. Of course, once we're done with this season, so to speak, we'll start another one at some point after the next update, which is the big MOW update. And I'll probably start by just doing a stream on my, let's call it the non-season save. The Eastern Oregon Railway. That's the one that I did as my first Railroader stream, actually. And it's just Whittier to Alarka. Hello again, Game and Trains. Actually, since we're gonna cut this off, we'll just leave it like that. So come back over. So I might expand my Eastern Oregon Railway save to include out to Nantahala, and that way we can also look at the revised industries at Hewitt. Because as I recall, the MOW update is going to change the one at Hewitt. The talc and gravel. And since I'm not sure if we're going to go to Nantahala in the next season, we can do it in an off-season video. Alright, now 46 needs to take this car and shove it. I don't even remember where this car's going. Oh, that one's also going to Hemingway. How convenient. Oh, right, that's the one that we dropped off earlier. Heh, no wonder it's already. Oh, thank you, Bluebridge. I was trying to remember who you were. So all of these cars are going to be going east. But of course, we will have to also grab all the pulpwood cars and take them with us. For now, though, go grab your caboose. Let's make sure I did coal... No, you need coal and water as well. Well, if you don't fit at the water tower, we'll pull you out and back you up. I'm usually better about doing the coal and water, but it did get in kind of late. And yeah, once again, this will be switched closer to the end of the day. Do have a ton of pulpwood cars to go out, though. And just to check, how's 71 doing? Oh man, they are crawling up that hill. But they are making it. That's the important part. I am using whatever whistles are in the game, plus one other pack. So if the Polar Express whistle happens to be one of them, then it happens to be one of them. You know, I think while we're waiting, we're gonna sort these cars a bit. We're gonna put these ones here, and then this one here, and then that way we'll grab them a bit better. Because we're gonna have a moment. May as well make things a little bit easier for the switching on the receiving end. Alright, so now, pull forward for water. Missed. Those cars are going a bit fast. Let's set a handbrake. I'm not sure if that engine's in the game. I cannot remember which consolidations are which. And I'm not too familiar with that engine in particular. I am from the Pacific Northwest. I have never seen Southern Railway 630. If it were any of the engines in the game, I would guess the C46, but I'm not sure. Which is the engine we are currently switching with. Okay, good to know. Thank you for that. Just again. All right, thanks for dropping by. Enjoy your game. Yeah, we'll break those into better blocks. Make things a little bit easier. And double checking the map, our passenger train is almost topped in, and 71 is fighting its way up the hill at 7 miles an hour, but I think we'll still make it. I hope so. I don't want... If we have to, we can send this helper to go help that train too. But I'd really rather not. I did not realize how close to tonnage that train was going to be. We'll keep this open so we can keep an eye on things. Now you throw that one there. Okay, you are now full. So let's have you take your train over to here. Maybe only go like there. And then once we're done with this cut of cars, we'll just have 46 stuck over there. I'm gonna set a flare here real quick because I am worried we are going to... Our passenger train is gonna overshoot and block the siding. So I think we want this cut of cars on top. Because then we can grab these off the back and those off the front to take them to where they need to go. Yeah. Oh man, we might have a photo finish here at Topton. $400's keeping schedule at least. For now, anyway. It's about to lose it at Topton, I think. But we'll have time to make it up. Alright, now shove those over there. Is 71 picking up speed yet? Not yet. But it should be pretty quick, because I think that's the summit. And you're just going to have to wait a second. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. I'm not sure the passenger train is inside the station limits, actually. Alright, you just pop in there now. Yeah, so this train is not registered as reaching Topton yet. 71 is now barreling into town, so I think we'll be fine. And we'll pull your fusee so you can finish backing in. And pull that so 12 can keep going. Just for reference, scheduled into Topton... Well, scheduled to leave Topton right now. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit delayed. We'll give the crew of 71 a little bit of time to cool their jets, or their brakes. I guess they don't need to cool their brakes. They just got to the summit. We'll give them some time to set retainers and all that. That's not something you can do in this game. I wonder if that's something you should be able to do. No. You stop. I can't quite explain how retainers work. Hyce did a video about it once, I think. I think we can have 71 get on its way again. But for now, just down to Roto so that you can meet the outbound freight. Because I am more concerned about that train. 1,900 tons. That's pretty impressive, though. That was a lot of weight. Are you leaving soon? Okay, now you're leaving. Used quite a bit of water, too. Sheesh. Alright. So... now we grab this cut. Tack it onto the front of that cut, and then we head up the mountain. We do need to remember to drop this car. It'll be inconvenient if we have to swap it to the other train. Good thing all these cars are empty. It'd be a pain to drag them over the mountain if they weren't. Oh, and of course, we still need to get the Whittier stuff sorted out. So I think that's going to take priority over 46 getting the other cars for here. Or we can flip back and forth. I think we just need to throw a few of these log cars on the back. Or did we already get the stuff in downtown Whittier? Yeah, downtown Whittier equipment is taken care of. So we will be able to get the next train out pretty easily from Whittier. Let's start working on that now. So you just need to come up to here. And okay, the sawmill is now ready for the next set of logs. Just those two. And you, meanwhile... I guess you have some cars to move around. If that one's ready to go, we can stick it over on this track. And that way we can put these ones in. That one's not going to be ready for a while. Stop. What? Why do you have stop? How did you end up? What? I don't know. Just keep going. So, what's the final weight of this train going to be? Keeping in mind that, as far as I know... Okay, well, 2 of those cars are loaded, but the rest are empty. 3 of these cars are loaded. 811 tons. Let's find out if we make it. If we need to, we will send someone to shove on the back. But good luck. 55. Okay, so now it's good that we have all those together, but we need to get the chip cars back. And there's nothing else going out, right? No. So it'll be just grabbing these log cars, setting them aside, and then Ken can grab its caboose and leave. And once it gets to Bryson, then we can send out the full train. Do a quick save. I guess now we can send 46 out to get the other cars off the interchange. So let's do that. There's 2 cars that need to come into this. Well, one goes on this track, and then one goes to the seeding grain. So we'll start with those cars. Well, first we'll take care of Whittier. I think now we can fit all 3 on this track. It's not super long, but I think this one will fit if these 2 are shorter. Perfecto. None of these are going to be ready to go out. If one of these had been the first to load, then yes, but not the case. And 75 is now in sit and wait mode too. Well, that's okay. 71 can sit and wait. Your train, it doesn't need to be at the interchange till tomorrow morning anyway. I'd rather get 55's train over the road. And then we can send these cars back up the branch once we've got everything else down here sorted. Did I remember to fill 10 up? Yes. So we break that there. Move that over. I keep checking that boxcar like it's going to be ready in time. It's not. There we go. So now we break this off and run these back. And once it's clear... Okay, 12 is that waypoint. So now what we need to do is deassign 12 and run you up there. And now you are still the right train, right? Yeah. You still have Nantahala people, so you need to wait. We're gonna have to check this manually. Okay, now I think you're probably fine. There's people going the other way, but not the way we're going. So, with that in mind, highball. Alright, let's go back to the other trains in Whittier. So, with 105 out of the way, you can grab your caboose. And unsurprisingly, we are immediately throwing logs in the pond. And 46, I guess, can also go do some work. Well, first we need to close this angle cock. Need to wait for the terrain to load in so we can do that. And then come up to about there. Signal stuff is getting unloaded, so that's good. And actually, now that you're out of the way, how about you come over to here? I don't think we need you for the next train. But we'll see. Let's make sure the Hewitt switches are good. Always check that. And we need to align west or the other way. Flipping back to Whittier. Alright, so now you can head into Bryson. We'll bring you in on this track. And also, I think what we also want to do, we're going to have 11 grab the caboose and stick it on the back of here. And we'll grab the 401. We'll just have it come out and sit on the ready. Maybe right there. Yeah. And is there anything else in Bryson that's ready to go out? Yes, there is a Bryson car, so we will need to have 11 go fetch that. In fact, let's have 11 go fetch that first. That hopper is so close, but it's not going to be ready in time. Same with that standard oil tanker. It's 55 gotten clear of Roto yet? Not quite. Well, I kind of want 71 to wait there a little longer anyway. Alright, so now 46 is ready to do its first move. Which fortunately is a pretty simple one. You just kind of go... Whoop. That's all for paper. Except that. I guess once this train is clear here, we can send 71 back. One moment. Sorry about that. Person at my door. Another door-to-door salesperson. Come to think of it, I probably could have used what he was after, but not when I'm streaming. Why is 11 there? What are you doing? 11, I told you to come over here. Probably it was planning to go that way and 401 got in the way. Alright, so now we come up here. Just take a little bit off the top. How am I going to switch the other stuff? I'm pretty sure all this other cars, except for that one, are going to be a top-end switch. So I guess we drop the SH car there, and then just kind of roll everything else where it needs to go. Yeah. And that can just go anywhere up here. Okay. So how about this? And we'll just get this car spotted and couple back in. And I guess if we want to, we can also have 12 go fetch this car here in Nanta. Just get that one extra interchange out. Alright, drop that there. Shove back into our other cars. And let's go deal with 11. So we need to air up both of these cars. I guess for now we'll top this one up here, or set that one there, put this one back. And then rush back and try and get our whole train put together. Maybe what we can do while we're waiting... I'm going to have you get this back car put into position. And that'll save us a bit of time later, or at least it should. And yeah, those Alarka cars will be waiting for tomorrow's train. Well, it's good to know that 400's managing to get back on schedule. Although maybe that's just because 402 also got a little delayed. Alright, so you can push back into the switching yard. So that one goes there. This one comes back there. That one goes there. And we can now send 71 to where it needs to go, which is down here. I don't know which track he'll come in on. I guess we'll find out. That switch likes to stay lined for the wrong track, doesn't it? No, you need that car. Alright, we'll hunt these two together. And these two trains are also still early. 1. Alright, 400 can get out of the way. And you come up here. Oh, and 55 has somehow made it there, so let's send you into Nanta. And wait for the next train. I hope you can get started on this hill. If I need to, I can send the helper, but I'd rather not. Okay, good. So now 11 needs to come flying back into the yard. Reset the waypoint so that 401's movement doesn't mess it up. So PO1, we'll put you there. How about there? So that's still on the track, so we'll put you there. And 10 is coming into the yard. So let's go get the next train ready. So basically, 10's gonna cut off and run for... I guess run for the house. 401 can grab the lead cars, and the 111 Scott grab its train and vamoose. And I think that's all it's got to do. I don't think it has any other pickups. And then also, once it's done, 10 can take its log cars away and shove them up the mountain. We'll even let it take its caboose. Why not? Logging engines can have emotional support cabooses. But you will have to wait for 11 to come flying past. What's our station here doing? Well, it's starting to get passengers for the next train, so that's good. One thing I'm going to have to watch for in the next update is Scrapalachia is probably going to break. I think that's pretty common for the track mods to break when the game updates. So I think maybe what I can do is if you grab this, can you get it on the back really quick? Maybe I should have had 401 hang out up here. I don't know. Alright, you are in the clear, so go grab your boxcars. I'm gonna check on our other trains. Oh, we better remember 55 has that car to drop off. Normalize some switches. Get some water for myself. Shove those up there. And shove that one there. So we're gonna have 5 cars. It is a light train for such a big engine. But sometimes that's how it is. It's also mostly empties, which is kind of funny. Probably could have balanced the morning train a bit better. Might have a pickup at Hewitt if it's convenient. Or, again, pick up at Nanta if it's convenient. Probably not the ones at Graham County. We might run an afternoon Pulpwood just to deal with those. Oh yeah, and in real life, no, they would not have 2 trains approaching the same track from different ends at the same time. That'd be a great way to get something smashed to pieces. Boonk. Looks like the coal drag is getting in, so that's good. Dunk. Alright, 401, I'm going to clear you as far as... I think you can get to Alarka Junction. Let's find out. Yeah, I think so. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, now your caboose isn't even cut in. Okay, I don't know what 11 was up to, but I guess you no longer have a caboose. We'll try and deal with that later. Or we can try and deal with it now. Oh, hang on. There. Try that again. I think it said it was leaving Almond, so we'll just take you to Hemingway. Oh no, it's holding at Almond, so yeah, you can keep going to Alark Junction. Alright, so, what else do we need to deal with? 55 is about to need some attention, so I guess we'll go to 55. I told you the end of the siding. I think I'm actually going to reroute you just to about there. That'll still get you clear, but then we can also figure out what to do with this car at the back of the train. And then I am going to send 12 up to get that one boxcar. We'll stick it on the 401 train. Wait, what? Stop Bryson West? Why do you have a stop at Bryson West? Okay, well now you're clear Bryson West. What the heck? Okay, whatever. Alright, so 55. Actually, you probably can go... Yeah, we'll go manual for a second. I do need to make sure you don't overshoot. Oh, how much was that for an interchange? Woo! 1,500. For what is effectively the full output of the mine. And here comes the other passenger train, so we'll just hold right there. Not super full. I was hoping for a bit more. Then again, the fact that depending on how and when I save, that could have influenced it. So we'll clear you forward. That's probably a decent enough spot to leave the caboose. And we wait for the train to recharge. And we do a little bit of a kick. And we stop again. Kick the Benzie car. Alright, so 55. Start just to Wesser. I'm not sure. Maybe we can get you further. But we'll start at Wesser. And when are you due to leave here? Okay, next minute. Alright, so now... who's next on the list? I guess we go back to... well, no, wait. I guess we go back to 46 for a bit. So CI, that's right there. And how are these cars actually spotted? Okay, they appear to be spotted in a good spot. So let's grab our caboose and then go fill up again. And there's 12 getting its boxcar. So we'll switch back over. Yeah, that's the only one that's going to be ready for a bit. I'll never flip the markers on that caboose. It's about to not matter, so I won't fix it now, but I should have. Okay. Actually, I think the next step is going to be to get 10's log cars up the mountain. So we'll work on that next. But 10 will not make the return to Whittier until until 55's train shows up to Bryson. And I think 12 is just going to hang out in Nantahala till the Streamline train comes back. Which we may or may not end up showing. Zoom. Okay. Yeah, so come up to there. We'll have to separate them and sort them manually. Yeah. So, well, now we're dealing with that. Let's have 10. 10's water tenders plentiful, so let's just have you go grab your cars and head for the mountain. How's 105 doing? We haven't looked at 105 in a bit. You're going to be sitting there a while. So the hoppers go there, and then we can go deal with that one boxcar. Okay, where's 401? Okay, so 401's coming into Alarka. 400 is just getting to Brooks, so that's a good place to hold. It's so weird having such a short train. Alright. So, now, where... And I guess the other thing we can do is get 71's train. Hold up. So, for that, we're gonna uncut you out. Dump your brakes. Yeah, 401's just going to be having to wait for a bit. And how's our signal stuff doing? Still unloading. I feel like you... Nope, okay, you are moving. Fortunately, we can load passengers on both tracks. Twelve's just gonna wait. I'm gonna tell 55 it can advance all the way to McLean. Because I think I am also a little more worried about its train than 50 or 401's. Speaking of which, 401 is almost ready to continue. So there comes our streamliner. People stared in awe and wonder. It's fast and sleek and full of thunder. If you understand that reference, I appreciate you. If you don't understand, I apologize for your childhood. I think the way to do this is we're going to have 12 come back and hide again. We'll just leave this car here. So I did do some rail fanning this past couple days. Always good to do some of that IRL. Yesterday, I was over at the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad in Garibaldi. Rode the regular train, rode their little speeder special, and then did a chase of the special train they ran to Wheeler. So that was a lot of fun. I don't do a whole lot of chases. And it was kind of nice because there was only like one or two other people chasing it. So, you know, it's not like the roads were super packed other than the usual beach traffic. Driving-wise, for the most part, everyone, self-included, was being pretty sane. And I got some really nice pictures out of it. I also got some video, but I don't know when I'm gonna get around to editing that. I kind of want to get one more Denmark video out. I've got a lot more to get out, but it would be nice to get another one out before this one. If you don't know, the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad runs on a section of former Southern Pacific trackage between Garibaldi, Oregon, up through Rockaway Beach and Wheeler to a point somewhere up the canyon, up the Salmonberry River Canyon. The track through the canyon has been washed out since about 2007. Mother Nature has had a big storm that year and wiped out the track, but they're still running on their portion. Unfortunately, they are having issues wherein the city of Rockaway Beach wants to take the tracks north of their city and turn it into a trail, which would prevent the Oregon Coast Scenic from making its runs up to Wheeler and Salmonberry River Canyon. There is a petition to save those rails. I'm not sure where it is at the moment. I'm sure you can look it up and find it. I still need to sign it myself, but that was a great ride, so I will. Their primary power at the moment is McCloud River Railroad number 25. It is a little 262 Prairie. Actually, it's a fairly sizable looking 262. Built by the American Locomotive Company for the McCloud Railroad in 1925. So this is its 100-year anniversary. Well, that covers it for our switchers for a moment. Right now, I guess we're mostly just watching passenger trains. 10 ought to be ready soon. Let's go watch our streamliner. So I was watching the 25 yesterday. Also got a cab ride. Their cab rides are not really cheap. They're normally 150 bucks. In this case, there was a special, so they were 100 bucks, which is still not super cheap, but I could afford that. I was planning to go to San Diego this weekend, but changed my mind on that. Probably for the better, because I noticed Alaska Airlines is doing some special flight cancellation deal type thing, which tells me there's something going on in San Diego I wouldn't really want to be there for. In any case, chased the 25, got my pictures, got my special t-shirt. And we'll see how that goes. I got home kind of late. The day before that, I also went to the Mount Hood Railroad in Hood River, Oregon. That is a short line that runs from Hood River up to the town of Parkdale. Right now, they only run passenger excursions as far as Pine Grove. Pine Grove is where a company called The Fruit Company has a little visitor center. Little lunch area, too. They handle, well, I don't know about the railroad in general, but the fruit company, of course, handles a lot of fruit. Hood River area, the Hood River Valley accounts for apparently about 1/2 of peach production in the U.S., which is a lot of peaches. Or maybe it was pears. I take that back. I think it was pears. But they do pears, they do apples, they do peaches, they do grapes. I'm not sure how much of that traffic the Mount Hood Railroad handles. They do handle lumber traffic. There's 1 or 2 mills in the area. They used to run excursions all the way to Parkdale. Now they just do to Pine Grove, which is fine. Obviously, 45 minutes each way. That's really what a lot of the public is looking for. I wonder if it would be possible to charter one going all the way, though. I wonder how much that would cost. Can't be cheap. Also learned during that trip that apparently Mount Hood, which is the tallest mountain in Oregon, is the second most climbed mountain in the world, with mountain number 1 being Fuji, or Mount Fuji in Japan. So there you go. More you know. Alright, made it to Topton. You will be leaving soon. pretty sure this design is based off the Union Pacific 49er, which is an interesting shape, and then especially when you see the colors. I don't know what UP was thinking with those colors. Maybe it can't close when it's in motion. Maybe there's just a visual bug. Let's find out. Oh, ha! We just went past the signals. I'm not sure if that's something we should ask them to fix or not. There we go. Would be nice if the stations were maybe a little not quite so far. But I did see a message 10 has reached its waypoint, so we'll get 10 to get its log car sorted out. How is this location doing on logs? Okay, it still has plenty. And it's not in danger of running low, so it can handle up to 32 cars of logs a day. Fortunately, we have the Connolly Creek branch, so we shouldn't need that many logs a day. And also 20 cars of pulpwood. I'd imagine if we didn't have Connolly, it would be a big pain to deal with this place. Speaking of which, Connolly can do 30 cars of pulpwood a day. Mind you, I'm pretty sure if you pop down to lower Walker, I think you can only fit like 10 pulpwood cars in there at a time. It's not a lot. You know, it would be fun if we could get a little prairie in this game. McLeod 25 would be great for that, I think. This one is based off Mikado McLeod 19, so having another McLeod engine would be kind of cool. And we'll have you grab the loads, but I think we might wait until these are loaded before we head out. May as well. I mean, it's going to be a while before 55 gets to where it needs to be anyway. Well, actually, 55 is almost to McLean. That meet timing is going to be a lot better than I thought. In fact, I'm going to tell 401 to continue to at least to Hewitt. If we can pick up 1 or 2 cars in Hewitt, I won't complain. And I guess that means we can tell 55 to continue into Bryson. We are inside the mountain right now. Where are they going to pass each other? Okay, but I do need to apparently tell you to go down the siding. Apparently they're going to meet down by this end of it. Let's try that again. Come in on the main track. There we go. Ah, got it with the tags. Oh well. Yeah, waypoint mode and signals can be a little bit funky at times. Always worth keeping in mind. Okay, where were we? We were playing with Engine 10. And speaking of logs, I'll be ready to go reasonably soon. I guess what we can do while we're waiting, we can have you go move those outbound cars. Because I think all the rest of these are actually from Andrews. I think the rest are from Andrews. Maybe not that one. But these ones are all Andrews cars. So we'll have you come up and... I guess run... maybe just shove them back into there? That'd be a way to do it. Keeping an eye on our passenger trains. Okay. 402 is entering Roto. And, oh, that's right. We still need to finish taking care of our steam engines. Which is important when our passenger train shows up. And needs this whole track. So we will take care of our freight engines. And they will take care of us. Are you gonna fit? There we go. They barely fit. Hey, barely fit is still fitting. And I think we can make things a little easier if we pre-position 34 up here. Or we could use 40 for the job. What's 34's damage levels looking like? It's barely. It'll be fine. But that way we can pluck the caboose off the back of the inbound train and shove it down there. May as well use 34 because we can Y it at the same time we're dealing with caboose. I'm not sure how its letter color ended up so yellow. Okay, 400 is entering Bryson? Or is it just departing? It is entering. Let's go take a look. And of course, there's our exhibition train with our exhibition car and our 440. What a cute little engine. We are going to need to coal and water this thing when we get to Whittier. I hope we have enough coal and water in Whittier. I mean, we'll always have enough water. Coal is a little more tricky. Okay, everyone's loaded. It's just getting people kicked off. Hoping for a big payout. Is that everyone? There we go, 755. Okay, now we'll go back to 34, because I'm sure you're done with water. No, you're not done with water. I was so sure! Okay. And we're just gonna have you pop back over to the depot. We'll finish eventually. Alright, and I think also what we're gonna do is we're gonna shove these back so that the hopper comes all the way down here, and that way we can squeeze a few more on. Just in case. I do know we have one car in Hilo that'll need to be picked up. And 34 is in position, and our log cars are still delogging. I guess you could say they're logging off. I'll take my limes. A little surprised we didn't have another car at Wesser. I'm not complaining, but I am a little surprised. And yeah, so now it's basically just watch the trains go by. It would be nice to get through all the road trains needing to get to where they need to go before we end the stream, so we might do that. I don't think we'll get the passenger trains all the way done. But we'll see if we can get all the freight to where it needs to go. As far as other streams I might do while we're waiting for Railroader, recently Kerbo reviewed a game called Lazy Train Game, and it looks simple enough. It doesn't come out until October, but there's a demo out, so I might stream the demo, I might just play it myself, I don't know. I might play it myself and then stream a demo. Do a short stream. Infinite Rails also has an update due this Friday. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty big one. And then, of course, there's always Construction, but I'm having too much fun playing that through by myself. Alright, this still has a few more cars to log off. But 402 is coming into town. So we're gonna watch 402. It's a ghost train. Do love this blue and gold. Alaska Railroad did a great job when they picked those colors. And again, with the next Railroader series, I've kind of talked about it a lot. I think we're going to focus on like a Silva to a Larka, maybe also to Almond, maybe Nantahala. That will depend on what the actual MOW crew or MOW update involves. And I think we're also gonna do it as like diesels. This one was all steam, next one's all diesels. Game goals are probably going to be pretty similar to the ones we have here. There'll be a goal to connect place to place, have to serve all open industries and stations, have to get them all at least to tier 3. We're going to either start with the debt, or we're going to say play without debt, no loans allowed. Which I've done. It's a little tricky, but it's doable. It does take a little bit longer. And I think we might also set that same monetary goal. I know $100,000 money sounds kind of weird, though, so I might phrase it a bit better. I wasn't sure how to say it, because it's not exactly profit. Well, I guess it kind of is our profit level. That switch is good. We have a decent number of passengers still, so that's alright. Five active freight waybills. How do we have 5 active freight waybills? We got one there. We got one there. Oh, and then we got like 3 log cars. About to be 4. So now we just gotta wait for everyone to hop off. I keep forgetting we can look at all the equipment we have. Maybe there should be a way to... Well, I mean, I never look at this. Maybe a way to divide this between cars on railroad and cars off railroad? I don't know. The other train is at Ela. One is just about to hit Hewitt, so I think we're gonna bypass Hewitt. Continue on to Nanta. You cars had your chance. You get the switcher tomorrow. Okay, 55 is almost to Bryson. We'll see how long it takes 10 to get its cars off. Okay, Ela. Nope, still one more person. And one more person is off, so let's get this train turned. A lot of money. Throw that switch. Alright. And, okay, you can get that car, so let's have you do that. We'll just pluck that caboose clean off the train. And you're gonna take the combine off the train. We'll Y the combine as with the rest of the engine. Oh, ha, bounced. And I think for ease, you just need to come all the way down to, like, there. And once 34 is cleared, you can come down this way. It does seem a little funny that it's going to be a little easier to turn this train than the other train, even though the other train has a much shorter time to do it. And the first train to... Yeah, Whittier's train departs first, but it also arrives second, if that makes any sense. Which I guess is how it would work, so I can't complain. 401 is slowing down so it can make its pickup. 55 appears to be in the yard. You are slowing down. Why are you slow? No, 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 don't go that way. Go this way. The AI sometimes. I really don't know what to say about it. Alright. We'll deal with the passenger train first, and then we'll get 401 up the top then. Now you can put that here. Okay, yeah, we'll deal with the other freights once we get the passenger trains turned around. Alright. You can go here. Oh, and also we should flip you to the next train. Oh, oh no, it won't matter. Because we have to shove this back anyway. And now we're reverse. But we will keep going. So don't log off quite yet, please. And there's Whittier, so copy and coupled. And now the other train. I don't remember how far I have to take this to get it out of the way. And let me guess, here, yeah, so that's ready to go now. Obviously, it won't be going until the passenger train is clear. So now it won't matter, it'll just keep coming back. I'm just trying to make sure the AI doesn't decide to suddenly turn around and try and hit something from the other direction. As it has been wont to do. And I think just to about there to get it into position for coal and water. Hard to say sometimes. In the meantime, okay, you're full, so you proceed to here. Actually, I can probably just tell you to run forward at track speed. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to do. Lego Trains Caboose mod. Speed penalties for not having a caboose or an observation car, but speed bonus for having them. The AI almost never actually goes up to 45, except on, well, I think it sometimes does east of Whittier, but not west. Observation car will go up to the 45. Once again, just double check that this whole train is going to do what I think it's going to do. Yes. Oh, no, I want to go to the other engine. And we're also just going to start notching things up on time. Obviously, we don't want to go too fast because, you know, we don't want our train to suddenly be late. But this way we're not waiting the whole time. Just like that. There we go. This is going to be sitting here a while. We'll do one more wait. And if we look at 55's train, okay, 55's train does fit there, so that's good. Let's actually go take a look at 10. Or more specifically, these cars. Yeah, those will be done pretty quick. So we're gonna have 10 go get ready to fetch those. Then we can just take them all back with us. And then we can sort out what these other cars are doing. See if I actually got them positioned right. I might have gotten them backwards. It would not surprise me. Definitely need to buy some more coal hoppers for this dang railroad. Or at least I would if we planned to play a whole lot more. You know what, let's buy a couple more. Just in case we ever come back. Send you this way for now. Okay, you're full on coal. We got coal in the hole. I guess we can also flip this train. It is now 8 pass. Five others? That doesn't sound right. Oh, I guess it is a 3, 4. It is a 6-car train. Alright, so now you head for the depot. Do a couple more time skips. And okay, so now 10's ready to come down the mountain. So we'll get 10 lined up to come down the mountain. And that way it can try and get down before the passenger train comes through and blocks the main line. That would be much appreciated. And I guess at the same time, let's have 401 go pick up its last car. I do not expect a tonnage train. Dunk into that. Grab the rest of your cars. Jump back to 10 for a second. So where are the hoses? Hose. Hose. And assuming you fit, head down to Bryson. Come in on that track. Alright, you fit. So, okay, yeah, I did do these right. So we can have probably 11 grab these cars and take them up. 55 can take this car and head to switch Bryson. Then 11 can come back down for these cars. Once 10 is left. Oh, nope, nope. Stop, stop, stop. Not what I wanted. Wait, 5 more. This might end up being kind of a light train. At least on this end. And we're probably going to make this thing just slightly late. Or we could just wait and let the last 5 minutes pass naturally. We'll do that. It'll be nice. We won't make people go scrambling for their train. Okay, so 401. It's all of 559 tons. That's not much. It's only about 300 tons of cargo. So you should have no trouble getting up to Topton, right? Well, we'll find out. Go to Topton. And in the meantime, 55... Which track does that go to? R1? I think we'll just send you out. Just, you go do that switching. And then maybe come back and you can handle the stuff at Hemingway. Oh, hey, look. you can go pick up that car, too. And how's actually 11 doing on coal and water? Yep. I guess you could go use some water. So may as well go fill you up real quick. But then you will need to move these pulpit cars out of the way. Not sure why 55 is going all the way up there, but okay. Whatever. If 401 makes it up the top, then in time, I'll tell it to go all the way to Rodo, but I'm not positive. It's only doing 13 at the moment, which is not near as much as I expected. Yeah, so just top up on fallen water here. And then we'll need to go get 10 turned as well. Turned and serviced. Nope. Missed. There we go. Alright. You know what? Let's go watch 400 depart from Whittier. Alright, and you are now coming down the mountain. Yeah, you should make it to Bryson in plenty of time. I guess while we're at it, we can have you start working on some chores as well. We can get these log cars moved around. And you now need to go move the pulpwood cars. Actually, just to make things easier, we'll move the other cars over. And that way we don't have conflict when 10 shows up. 55. I think can go grab the standard oil car. That one's always a little tricky to switch because you usually need to use the main line for it. Did anything else scrap? Nothing else is scrapped yet. Okay. And then, yeah, 10 comes in on that track. For now, let's have you put these cars back. They're empty, but we're not going to be making another run to Bryson today. I wonder how often this street gets blocked. It's gotta be inconvenient for the one person who lives here. I know it would make the game slower, Adam, but please, more buildings. Close. Pulse. And here comes the logs. Oh, and we have to move that caboose, too, come to think of it. So let's have you put that here for now, in case we have to keep the main line clear. And 105 can grab that. And head up the mountain. Okay, no, you've filled up, so we just need to get you turned. And get your caboose moved to the right train. So for now, stick the caboose up here. Well, I guess 10 is going to wait a second and then do the table. Can't actually waypoint onto the turntable, I've noticed. Alright, so now up the mountain you go. And I guess go grab that. Gotta think about that. The caboose is on the wrong end now. What's gonna be the easiest way to get that moved? I guess it is probably gonna be to switch things on this side. Oh, no. My character moved. Alright, there. And my game just froze. Oh. Well, the game has stopped responding. So, we're probably going to lose an autosave. Please hold. So we probably just lost a little progress, unfortunately. but I was saving relatively frequently. No. It'll be the autosave. No, wait. It'll be that save. But that does still look like we lost about the last 5 minutes. Okay. Let's head back to the game. Alright, so we did lose a little bit. You are moving your cars back. You haven't reached Ely yet, so 11 is still doing its switching, and 55 is grabbing cars. We could have lost a lot more, so I'm happy we didn't lose much more. Boonk. So move that back there, and let's try and preempt another crash and move our character over here now. And this time we'll move 10 first. Stop you short of the table. And now you can once again put the caboose up there. One thing I haven't addressed, apparently I've got a boxcar here that's empty. We could kick it over here, but it's not really going to do anything over there. We'll just leave it for now. And yeah, so caboose to that track, these cars on top of it, these ones on top of that. Sounds like a plan. Alright, and 55 can put its cars back. How long have we been streaming? 2.5 hours. This is my longest stream yet. And we'll be going at least a little longer. Until all the freight's put away. Until most of the freight's put away. Maybe have one little special surprise coming up. We'll see. So now we want 11 to move the caboose, and then I think we want 10. Let's have you come up to here for now. And then we'll once again zoom back out and send 105 up the mountain. Yeah. So now 55 can grab this, and we're gonna have to put it somewhere. But right now the yard's a bit jammed up. I guess you can come to here now. Yeah, we'll have... maybe we'll have 10 come grab that cut. Yeah, 10 get on that cut, flop it over, pull away, 11 gets the logs. Yeah. I think that'll work. But how about we go watch the other train leave now? The ghost train. Still, oh, that one's almost empty at least, so that's good. And let's have you there. That should be far enough out of the way. Can you get to... I think you can get to Roto in time. Meet the mountains at Roto. Alright, make sure we grab the right engine and come up to there. There will, however, be a whole bunch of switching to do. No, hang on. Well, yes, actually, so... Now, you grab those, and once you're in, 10 can shove its cars in. Give you a little more space to work with. So I'll throw an open question out for anyone watching. If you've seen my regular videos, you know I tend to go places, and going places is fun. Is there anywhere in particular you think I should try to go to next? I don't know where I'm going next. And as Mike Downey likes to say, but I know I want you there with me. But if you've got any ideas on places I should go visit, post a comment. Comment on this video. Comment somewhere else. Come find me in the Midland Discord and bug me there. Speaking of which, if you are not part of the Midland 1072 Productions Discord, you should join the Midland 1072 Productions Discord. You can find it on any of Midland 1072 Productions videos. You can also go join the Angry Ragtimer Discord, which the link to be found in any of his videos. I don't know how I put the handbrake, but okay. Alright, and now you go back. Keep going up the mountain. 400, stop for switch against. How? Okay, well for now I guess just come here. I don't know how you did that. Because those switches should have realigned themselves for you. I don't know what happened there. We're going to have to deal with that passenger train now. It's going to take a little bit of extra work. For one, we're going to have to make sure that it gets out going the right way. Let's take you down this track. We need to throw that switch, that switch, that switch, and that switch. There we go. That should do it. And I guess we can have 55 drop its car here. We'll start building tomorrow's outbound. And like I said, I know I've said that we're not going to keep playing this save, but let's treat it like we are. Because, you know, I reserve the right to change my mind. We could see what chaos the MOW update brings to this save if we want to. Okay, yeah, 401's gonna make it no issues. I think we're gonna wait and see what other cars come out of here. $55, I think, is gonna need a top off on water, but we could have it take these Hemingway cars too. I think they're all gonna fit at Hemingway. Save our morning train a little bit of work. Oh, can you get You might not be able to get around. Yeah, you gotta come down that track. That is, in fact, going to be a pretty long train. Bryson is a bit of a mess right now. Alright, we'll just take you all the way now. Release the handbrake there. Passenger train is... Nope, don't do that. Passenger train is looking decently full. Could be better, but I'm not going to complain. And 11 will be ready to head out as soon as 10 leaves. To the camps with ye. That sounds really bad. Don't say that. Don't quote me. To the log camp with ye. Of course, 10 does have to make one stop in Ela to pick up a car. So that'll slow things down a bit. Alright, to Ela you go. And just as a fun reminder, 10 was one of the original engines that we started with on this railroad, with 12 being the other one. And they started brand new. How close are they to an overhaul? Almost halfway for that one. And almost halfway for 12 as well. So that tells you how long you have to be playing this game before overhauls really take effect. Because consider, we're on day 23. I've been doing a once or twice weekly stream for almost a year now. And I have not had to overhaul an engine I purchased new. Mind you, if you play this game every day for the full length of the day, that will change the math a bit. Okay, I think we can tell you to go grab these cars. And I think 401 is probably now ready to rock. Yeah, let's have 401 get itself into town. And we will tell 11 to head up to Walker. And as you watch 11 head up to Walker, I'm going to step away for a second. And I'm back. Not that there's really anything going on. Let's have you top off here and then head up the hill. And double check my other switches because, yeah, some of these have just been playing a little weird. And oh look, now there's cars at Hewitt ready to go. Too bad, you missed the train. Okay. Manual this to a stop. There we go. I think all 4 cars fit at Hemingway. You'll be sitting there a bit. 11's working its way up. 10 is almost to Ela. And of course, 105's been sitting around for a bit. One train's there. Other train is still working its way up the top then. At least it's making... well, it's not making track speed, but it's going decent speed. And 401 is still flying down the mountain. I don't think you need a full tank to get up there. So let's just do that. Yeah. You don't hold a lot of water in that tender. Let's go take a look at 10, because I think 10 is going to be the next one that needs help. And let's see. The Stenzel car we're going to have to deal with separately. In fact, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have 105 come down the mountain real quick. And just chill out on the Y. It'll take care of the Stenzel car. 10, go grab that. Dunk. Yeah, 11's almost there. That's good. Pull that back. .402 is at Topton. 401 is flying through Andrews. And 10 is about to proceed onward. You know, I just realized I think we're going to hit the third playthrough of my music playlist. I don't normally stream this long. But, you know, grand finale, so... Won't get all the way to the end of the passenger runs, but we'll get fairly close. Alright, so the log cars are up front, so we'll tell you to go... Oh, and we'll tell you to go there. That ought to be enough to start. Also keeping in mind we'll have these cars that need to go up the Hemingway at some point, or up the Connolly at some point. Two minutes late in the Topton. Shame, shame. Could we get 6 on there? Let's find out. Yeah, if you squeeze it in. Alright. Alright, that's good. 11, you can go back into town. Come here because something tells me this hopper is going to be ready at some point. And 401 has arrived safely. Perfect. 401, grab your... Actually, 401 come here. And 34 go here. Because 34 is going to be in the way to turn anything around. And then once 401's turned, we'll have it grab its caboose and come here. Should probably move this caboose somewhere, or this car somewhere. Because we don't need that many repair parts, really. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 105 is now holding. And 55 has made its drop off. Okay, yeah, you do all fit. That's good. So 55 can now come down to the ready track and Bryson. And I just got a request from the people of Whittier. They want to see our exhibition train. And so does Ela. Well, we can't deny those good folks some fun, quality entertainment now, can we? So we'll start by sending it to the depot in Ela. So you're gonna have to back out and come to the yard. It's a bit slippery there, isn't it? While you head out, I think 401 needs... Yeah, 401 is ready for some attention. No, 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 no. You go this way. Yeah. How are our signal cars doing? Still unloading. And once again, hello, Eugene Hyce, Brunswick Train Fan Farm Lover Videos. I am doing well this evening. Okay, 10 is now approaching Whittier. That's good. It's got an approach signal. That's because it's just about to exit yard limits. We're going to scrap the signal indication and tell it to just go. You know, that tender looks way too small for that engine. But I guess it's what they've got. Do a quick save. Alright. Back up and get water, and then we'll go deal with 10. Overshot. Okay, so now 10 can come up to there. And 105 can grab that. And then it gets a little weird because we need, well, we need 105 on this side actually. So I'm not sure what we'll do there. Alright. So first, 105 goes to Stenzel. I just saw an approach at Nantahale. Why is there an approach at Nanta? Oh, that's why there's an approach at Nanta. Alright. Shove that all the way in here. We need all the logs. And then I guess what we'll do, we'll move the pulpwood cars here, and then drop those off, and then have that flat car get moved up there. Hang on, I gotta do that now. Pass the signal. And 11's pretty much done for the session. I guess let's have 401. Let's go have 401 go fetch its caboose. And while we're at it, 71 can pop out here to make some space. And 55. 55's getting coal. And 105. Okay, don't couple in, but stop short. And what I think we'll have you do is while 10's dropping these cars there, shove the caboose up, come on the back of the pulpit cars, and go up the mountain with them. Yeah. I like that plan. Okay, and number 1 is now at Gila. So it'll be on display there for a little bit. And 401 can... Okay, the cars aren't going to roll away. 401 can head for the shop. Any of the signal cars done yet? Nope. Oh. Yep, so we're basically just doing some wrap-up work here. What here? It was getting kind of low on logs, huh? And then, of course, you have to drop the 1 car at the interchange. You're gonna have to get the passenger train swapped around pretty soon. So I think what we're gonna have 105 do come forward. We'll have you shove the caboose in the shop. And then zigzag back to get the pulpwood cars. 401 is away. Guess we can go get 55 finished up. So now, come back out to here for now. Where are the passenger trains at? And do I need to do any more siding flipping? Nope, sidings are pre-flipped. If this takes too much longer, though, we will have to get 400's helper to put on. So we'll put 10's car there. There we go. So now 105 goes up to Connolly. We never actually made use of Connolly 3 this trip, this save, which does not necessarily bring tears to my eyes. Connolly 3 can be a little bit trickier to switch. Alright, and now turny, turny, turn. And now 55 is ready for tomorrow. So let's go finish up 10. I don't think we're going to turn 10. 10 is pretty unidirectional, and I might need it for something later. So we'll just get it cold and watered and put away. And once we've done that, we'll do one more thing. There is one more thing we're going to need to do in this save to wrap things up. Decent set of cars going outbound on interchange. Not sure how many we'd get in the morning. Again, the Whittier interchange only really serves the eastern half of the railroad. Everything else goes through Andrews, which operationally is a bit of a headache, but it's kind of fun. Makes for some interesting storytelling. Coal. Still got plenty of coal left, so that's good. But that hopper might empty soon, so hopefully there's one coming in tomorrow's interchange. Otherwise we're going to be scrambling a little bit. Almost done with the save. I'm not going to make you watch the whole passenger trains get to the end, because that's just going to be boring, except for trying to stick a helper onto the one at Nanta. We should probably make sure that they get to Nanta. Not quite so crisp on the timing this time. That's okay. Alright, so you go into the shop. And now the last thing we're going to do with this save, let's go to our exhibition train, and we're going to run to Whittier. That was a little awkward. Sure. Yep, headlight is on. So let's take a quick recap of what we started with. We started in Andrews, not in Whittier, in Andrews. We had to rebuild, well, not rebuild, but we had to clear the line of all wrecks between Andrews and Whittier. Every time we grabbed wrecked stuff, we had to take it to a shop and fix it. And then either return it to the owner or keep it, or eventually scrap it. We had to pay off a fairly sizable loan, not ES&D levels of ridiculous, but still pretty sizable. And of course, the entire time, we had to serve every industry. We can't play skipsies on this. If they wanted service, they got service. And that was that. And of course, we also had to serve all the passenger stations. No skipsies there either. And what did we have to do with this with? Well, to start with, a Mikado, a Decapod, and this. And this came in more handy than I thought, to be honest. I thought this was just going to be like an end of the game, run from one end to the other type thing. But we used the number 1 on our passenger train. So that was actually pretty handy. And of course, we had to do all of this dealing with red marble right from the start. That wasn't too bad initially because, you know, until you get to Alarka Junction, there's not really a lot of industry on this railroad. But once we got to Alarka Junction, that's when red marble really started to bite on us. Fortunately, we were able to buy a couple of big engines. We got that Santa Fe as a helper and the John Allen as the main. And that made things a lot easier. And of course, we did eventually reopen the line all the way to Whittier. And got all our industries up to Tier 3, although I'm pretty sure a couple of them decided to accelerate themselves, so, you know. And then eventually we had that random passenger train explosion where they just stopped working right. But we managed to get new cars, and what an upgrade we got. Those streamlined cars, I tell ya. Those and the Boonton coaches. So nice. Once again, this is probably going to be the end of the line for the Andrews and Eastern save. I do appreciate everyone who's tuned in over the past year. I've laid out some plans for the next season, and that will begin at some point after the MOW update. I do not believe there is an official release date for that update, but it ought to be a big one. It will be a different part of the railroad. It will be a different railroad. Haven't decided on the name yet. I'm thinking like the something Misty Mountains. Instead of Smoky Mountains, there'll be Misty Mountains. I'm gonna have to use dwarven names for the engines, though. Will it be steam? Will it be diesel? Will we have streamlined pet trains or old ones? We're gonna have to serve all the industries again? More interchanges? More distance? Will there be even any loan? Well, I guess you'll just have to tune in and find out once that season starts. Here we are. We are now coming into Andrews. Past those semaphores. That was not part of it. That might be an interesting restriction on the next one. What if I say no signals? Or what if I say signals as soon as you can? That could be interesting. But yep, here we are, coming up on the depot in Whittier. And you can't tell from your end of the computer, but I can. They are cheering our names. They are so happy to see us. So glad that we rebuilt this railroad that the other railroad was content to abandon. So, as we end our journey here, once again, thank you all for joining us on this adventure. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for the next season. Until then, have a good night, and take care.